A culture is a way of life of a group of people, the behaviors, beliefs, values, and symbols that they accept, generally without thinking about them, and that are passed along by communication and imitation from one generation to the next. Perception can be defined as our recognition and interpretation of sensory information. Perception also includes how we respond to the information. We can think of perception as a process where we can take in sensory information from our environment and use that information in order to interact with our environment. Perception allows us to take the sensory information in and make it into something meaningful. Time perception is a general term used in psychological fields to describe the way that different individuals perceive the passage of time. It is highly related to such common issues as time management, procrastination, and perspective. Time perception tends to have a significant influence on one's personality. People who extensively plan every aspect of their lives and people who save all tasks for the last minutes, for instance, have very different perceptions of time and its passage. An individual's perception of time can change significantly based on the nature of present activity, a shift in philosophy on life, or other factors. Different cultural backgrounds conceived different concepts of time and behaviors. In a certain degree, people's behavior patterns were restricted and dominated by time concept, while Chinese belong to the emular time conscious. In this kind of cultural consciousness, time is usually regarded as a circle and repeatable thing, which belongs to polychronic time system, while the United States and other Western countries are usually taking up monochronic time system. Americans who belong to the one-way time system treated time as one linear road and could be divided into several parts, so they strictly follow the schedule even do anything. It is because they are already used to do one thing in a unit of time, so they pay great attention to plan carefully. Those people who cannot finish the planned things in deadline are often considered to be impractical persons. In commercial activity, Americans abide by the deadline strictly, which both parties agreed, and write it into the contract by using the means of legal laws to urge both sides to keep that deadline. Even in social activities is no exception. When Americans hold a family party, they will send out this kind of invitation, open house from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday, which was considered to be incomprehensible in Chinese people's eyes, because it ran counter to a serious breach of a traditional Chinese hospitality. People who tend to using the polychronic time system like Chinese are more focused on time and opportunity. Even every action of each step is often based on the surrounding environment, so their schedule is more flexible. In social activity, they barely make advanced plans. There is no need to make an appointment in visiting relatives at any time. Punctuality is an important feature of monochromic time system in the United States. American lifestyles show how much people respect the time of others. When people plan an event, they often set the time days or weeks in advance. Once the time is fixed, it takes almost an emergency to change it. If people want to come to your house for a friendly visit, they will usually call first to make sure it is convenient. Only very close friends will just drop by unannounced. Besides, when you take a party, if you are late for 5 minutes, you must apologize for your late. If you are late for 30 minutes, it was considered as a serious disrespect. But in China, 5 minutes late is not a big deal. We even usually think that the VIP should be late. To many Chinese people, their daily work is not according to the schedule. We like to do many things at a time. Chinese people often meet someone without reservation. We also often hear such dialogues. If you are convenient, I want to drop by. Of course, any time is okay. But this kind of hospitality will be misunderstood for Americans, because it is not convenient for others' arrangements without exact time reservation. It is also a reflection of two countries' different time conception. Americans prefer to do one thing in a time, and doing two things at the same time is considered to be impolite. To the contrary, Chinese people are willing to do many things at one time. You may usually notice that many shop assistants were casting cards to customers at one side and introducing goods at the other side, and even chatting with colleagues besides them. The differences between China and America in time perception attribute to the different history backgrounds and values. The Chinese nation have a long history for 5,000 years. Therefore, people in China attach great importance to history and tradition. Past takes an important role in people's deep heart. People take the ancestors' way of life and the lesson of the saint as the value evaluation criteria. For example, Confucianism and Taoism. This kind of psychological attitude of esteeming the past over the present that Chinese people are faithful to the past time orientation. However, American tends to future time orientation. On the one side, American history is no more than 200 years. In this short process of historical development, they are exploiting your home world and also creating your culture, which makes them hardly miss the past. They think that past things are just the past. They never treat past things as a good thing. On the other side, the American middle class seldom content to the current situation. All these kind of concepts formed them a future time orientation. On the other side, it was because of the American dream, which was rooted in Americans' deep heart. America has been a national melting pot since its beginnings, which brought together people of all races. These people are eager for achieving their ambitions in exotic places with a beautiful aspiration. They even believe that bright future always exists in the near future.